What's going on, guys? Antonio here. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up for me, and let's get into it. All right, so we had the Barbie premiere the other night, and Simu Liu, excuse me, Simu Liu was there. He's in Barbie with was it Margot Robbie and was it Ryan Gosling? I think is playing Ken. Okay, so Simu Liu, who played Shang-Chi in the MCU, and apparently they want him to be in multi MCU movies. He signed a multi-picture deal with them, not just for the sequels. He's supposed to be. They're supposed to weave him into the MCU, and then he's supposed to appear in the Avengers movies. He's supposed to, Shang-Chi's supposed to be an Avenger, but a lot of that is being delayed. Well, he got asked about Shang-Chi because they greenlit Shang-Chi 2, fairly quickly after the first one, came out. They One of the reasons they picked Shang-Chi as a superhero is like when they picked Iron Man. If we can look at how much money the Avengers movies made and how much the Iron Man movies made and everything, but when they made Iron Man, everybody was like, why are they picking Iron Man? Iron Man was not popping. His books have been canceled multiple times. These are facts. And I'm an Iron Man fan. But Iron Man wasn't very popular, but they had sold off all the hot stuff. They had sold off Fantastic Four. They had sold off with X-Men. They had sold all the hot properties off. They sold off Spider-Man to Sony. So Marvel didn't have anything, so they were like, okay, let's try to do the Avengers. We still own the rights to those movies. And then they did Iron Man, and it ended up blowing up, and then they built the Avengers around him. So a lot of people were like, Shang-Chi hasn't really been a success. They've tried to bring Shang-Chi back several times. My brother used to read Shang-Chi in the early '80s. That it was like Marv Wolfman was on the book and everything. Those books were great. They used to do like Tuma Dracula and Shang-Chi and all that. Shang-Chi used to be a big seller. Steve Englehart worked on it for a time. Steve Englehart is the co-creator, so I was like, I guess I should say that. But of course, Steve Englehart, he created the character. But Shang-Chi he's never this huge draw where he's doing these crazy Spider-Man, numbers. But at the time they broke Shang-Chi into the comics, they were trying to capitalize, just like when they did Luke Cage, it was to capitalize on like blaxploitation movies and stuff like that. Shang-Chi, the Hong Kong box office had exploded, and a lot of those Saturday matinee theaters and stuff were showing a lot of those Hong Kong movies, especially in the urban areas. And the Hong Kong box office was exploding. Stan Lee was looking at it, he's like, man, these Asian movies are making money. Let's have an Asian superhero, and got Steve Englehart, and I can't remember the other guy that created Shang-Chi, and they created. As a matter of fact, you can look on my playlist. I've got the Steve Englehart interview that I did. Matter of fact, it's when you click on my channel on the first page, you can. He talks about creating Star-Lord and Shang-Chi, and talk about writing Batman and all that kind of stuff. It's a great interview. I was thrilled. I did that in 2019. But Shang-Chi was never a big guy, a big draw. But why did they pick Shang-Chi? They wanted to infiltrate. They wanted to be able to have a successful movie presence, Disney, Marvel, in the Asian box office market. The problem is they picked Simu Liu, and a couple of years ago, they didn't know this, but a couple of years ago, he had talked about the reasons his parents left. He was born in China. And he talked about the problems with the government over in China, and both his parents are aerospace engineers because they met in university and they fell in love, and then his father came over to go to college in the United States, and then the mother was still. I read his whole thing, and then eventually the mother. They moved to Ontario, if I'm not mistaken. They moved to Canada because when they immigrated from China, the family lived in Simu Liu. He grew up in Canada, and he, as he was doing something delivery, whatever, the Kiki's Delivery, whatever. I can't remember the TV show he was on. I think it's like Kiki's Delivery, or is that either way? But he had that TV show that was kind of popular in Canada, but it only has, I looked it up, it only has a couple of seasons. And but I mean, he was good on it, and then he, doing little acting roles here and there. He was a struggling actor, but when they brought him in, by his own admission, he couldn't even do martial arts when they hired him to play Shang-Chi, and that's kind of crazy. Like, when they hired Wesley Snipes and had him do Blade, Wesley Snipes, you watch his movies, he knows how to do martial arts, right? So they hired someone. That doesn't know martial arts to play someone who's supposed to be one of the best martial artists in the world, and but from he did like gymnastics or something when he was in high school or whatever. So he knows gymnastics. So he was very athletic, and they got with the stunt coordinators and the choreographers. And matter of fact, they've got the Shang-Chi special on Disney Plus. It's been up there for like a year and something. And I've watched it a couple of times. I thought it was fascinating watching them because, like I said, he admitted I didn't know anything about martial arts, and I've done like gymnastics and all this kind of stuff, and he just did a lot of work. I thought the action scenes in Shang-Chi 1 were very good. The main thing is, like I said, he's at the Barbie premiere. They asked him, they was like, "Hey man, what's going on with Shang-Chi 2?" And he said, because they were supposed to have started production on it. They were, because we're in phase 5 now. We're in the multiverse saga. They set up the end screen in Shang-Chi 1. They're supposed to be setting this thing up. They're supposed to be doing the movie, right? Nothing's going on. We got the writer's strike going on. So the writer's strike, and there was some delay that happened last year as well. He kind of spoke about. He's like, every time we get ready to start production on Shang-Chi 2, something happens. But like right now, we got the writer's strike, so it's on hold indefinitely. I don't. What was it? The Blade movie with Mahershala Ali. I've got a video up. They brought the guy in from True Detective with Nick Pizzolatto. I can't. Anyway, they brought him in to write the movie. And I love True Detective, especially that first season with Matthew McConaughey and I thought that was a great. I mean, it won multiple Emmys and all that. And so I was like, man, when they brought him in to write Blade, I was like, this is gonna be good. And then they were like, oh, Blade's on hold. So it's the same thing with Shang-Chi 2. But what also hurt, if you look at the box office numbers on Shang-Chi 1, it only did 432 million. And they really thought, remember I said they were trying to break into that Asian, they want the Asian market, they want the Indian market and all this kind of stuff. Simu Liu had said some stuff about how the Chinese government got down and why his family left China. And a lot of people in the Chinese government stuff kind of took some offense. He said this stuff before he even got cast or whatever, taking stuff from interviews from a few years ago. And it all, when you're in the public eye and you say stuff, it's always gonna, it's like, man, he said 7 years ago, he said this. And then they bring it up when, nobody cared about you when you made the comments originally. But then, say 5-6 years later, you got something popping, and then all of a sudden they start digging in old comments. But Shang-Chi is one of the movies that got blocked, one of the Disney movies that got blocked from release in China. And they picked Shang-Chi because they wanted to be hot in China. They even, the guy that they cast to play the Mandarin, was it Tony Leung? He's like Jackie Chan level star in the Hong Kong box office. So they made this movie with an Asian lead, hoping to penetrate and make they put Black Panther over in China. It's made over $1 billion. Like I said, Shang-Chi, 432 million worldwide box office. And yeah, they're making another one, but there's things that suggest that even when they make part 2, they're probably gonna still have the same hurdles that they had with part one. So I don't know if we're really gonna see Shang-Chi blow up and then he's supposed to be in the Avengers because the next Avengers arc, the things I've been reading, that's why they would spend so much time negotiating Tom Holland's new deal, because when his deal expired, I mean, he's gonna be getting like 20 million a picture. The money that he's supposed to get for these Avengers. He's supposed to be in Avengers and Secret Wars and plus the solo Spider-Man movies. Tom Holland's deal. The new Avengers arc is supposed to be. He's supposed to be the Robert Downey Jr. person, which there's too many articles that have said that Robert Downey Jr. was on the set of the new Captain America movie. I'm thinking about it. If you guys want me to talk about that, I'd love to break that down, because there are rumors that they're gonna, somehow he's gonna be in the new Captain America movie. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the MCU right now. The Jonathan Majors stuff, which he might be getting some legal help now, because the woman, there's evidence on her and everything, so he might, once that all gets cleared up, it'll be all good to go or whatever. But yeah, the Shang-Chi stuff, I thought Shang-Chi was okay. I don't know if it wasn't like, wow, this is the greatest movie ever, but it wasn't horrible. Like Eternals, I watched Eternals. Eternals was bad. I did not enjoy Eternals. And they, the whole thing, they had the little, you hear Blade's voice at the end in Eternals, and Kit Harington was he's supposed to be playing the Black Knight, and he opened up the case with the black sword in it, and then when he was about to reach for it, you hear Blade and the whole thing. They were setting up so much, but Eternals just was like box office poison, and people just was not feeling it like that. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of like dangling plot threads and stuff that they were trying to set up. Like you saw, was it Wong at the end of Shang-Chi 1? He opened the portal up and brought Shang-Chi. So they're trying to bring Shang-Chi into the main thing. And I don't even want to talk about Doctor Strange 3 or whatever is supposed to happen. That's why they had Charlize Theron. There's so much stuff going on with the MCU right now. But yeah, Simu Liu says that hey, they supposed to be working on Shang-Chi, but it keeps getting pushed back. But like I said, with the writer's strike, it's going to be a while. But are you interested in watching Shang-Chi 2? Get in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. I'm out. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and please check out my podcast at anchor.fm/AkariPress, or just type in Akari Press on your favorite streaming platform today.